Happy 50th anniversary of Earth Day.
Day 40 of the national emergency. And the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Are you still out there? I miss you. You know who I miss tonight? Billy Bo. Billy was the owner and chef at one of the city's best Italian restaurants, possibly the best Italian restaurant in the city. And Billy only ever had one request from everybody who worked there, whether you were one of the cooks or you worked in the front of the house. The only thing he ever asked of anyone was, the only thing he ever said was, don't fuck it up. And if you didn't understand the task, if you needed some clarification on some of the steps of the task that he asked you to complete, he would simply say it slower. Don't fuck it up. So, on this, the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, as I sit in sequester, I can't help but think that maybe we effed something up. I'm not saying it's not something we can't fix, but maybe, just maybe, we've effed a little something up. All right, news from the feed. Big, huge, enormous congratulations to Thomas Caruso. Thomas is a friend and a director, and he directed Emojiland. And yesterday, the Drama Desk Award nominations came out, and Emojiland was nominated for 4 Drama Desk Awards. Congratulations. And also worthy of note, Meredith Gordon, you know him, you love him, is part of a conversation with hospital clowns tomorrow at 4 p.m. Now, I just want to go back for 1 second to Thomas. Amazing job. Emojiland was an amazing ride. Like, you went to see the show and it was like going on a ride. It was incredible. And when I started to think about it just before as the intro was rolling, Katie and I went and saw the show, one of the last previews. I believe it was the end of January or very early in February. And Thomas, I think you gave Katie and I the last party in the city. I think the last time we partied in the city was going to see Emojiland. Congratulations, brother. All right. As you know, today is Earth Day. And I had a sit down earlier in the week with Mother Nature. Well, she sat down, I stood. I absolutely stood because it was Mother Nature. And I don't want to say that Mother Nature was angry, but she totally wasn't happy.
Happy 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Mother Nature here to celebrate this very special day with you and the peoples of the earth. There have been great advances in the last 50 years. There have also been two steps back, shall we say.
I'm surprised that we would need to have an Earth Day.
Considering it is the air that you breathe, people of the earth, and it is the water that you drink, I would think that it would be a no-brainer. Is that the expression being used?
Yes,
Yeah.
we say that quite a bit here.
Yeah. Oh, no brains being used. I would think that it would be natural to keep things clean. You know, I do the best I can. I set forth all of my fungus, mushrooms to break down and decay and recycle all the things that die. Natural procession and progression, of course. But I set water systems to cleanse themselves. But I cannot do it alone. Some of the challenges I have faced. Let's start with the population. 50 years ago, in 1970, there were 3.5 billion people on your planet, and now there are 7. So we've doubled the number. I can pretty much tell you how that's working out. The usage of fossil fuel has increased 37% per person. The emission of CO2 into your atmosphere, 1.2 trillion tons of CO2. But the use of flying has increased 495%. I hope you heard that. And the ripping down of our beautiful forests, I would say betwixt you and I think it's becoming untenable.
Interesting. Has anything good come out of the last 50 years?
Absolutely. You know, there are so many brilliant scientists and ecologists and geologists working. There was the passage of the Endangered Species Act. Thankfully, there have been a few species that were listed that are now off the list. The humpback whale has made a comeback. Have you ever seen a humpback whale, Scott?
Not in person.
Well, they are majestic.
Some small progress has been made. Are there ways that we can all help?
I'm so happy, Archie. You know, Scott, even the little things. There are 7 billion of you. If everyone did a small thing daily, it would make a vast difference. 7 billion small things a day. Of course it would make a difference. Using bags over and over again at the grocery store and those single-use bottles. Oh my goodness, I really can't get started on the single-use plastic bottles. Obviously cleaning up our litter. Planting wildflowers for the bees, those dear sweet honeybees to cross-pollinate. Scott, your food chain needs them. Just FYI. It is up to you. You have the knowledge to make a difference in the future. And only those who come after us will know whether you succeeded.
Wow, that is quite a challenge that you give us, Mother Nature. I hope that we can live up to it.
Yeah. So do I.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? She didn't seem like she was angry, really, but she totally wasn't happy. Now, I think she's definitely asking us to look inside and also look outside and do something about the shenanigans that we've gotten ourselves into. And next, I'm bringing up a person who is definitely doing something about the shenanigans. Carla Rhodes is a wildlife conservation photographer. Now, that's a lot to say, and she's going to help us to understand what exactly that means. Here she comes right now. Hello, Carla.
Well, hi, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Now,
One
Carla, let me just ask you, because I know the folks want to know, and we've put out a couple of the photographs that we're going to see tonight.
Nice.
What does it mean to document wildlife with empathy and understanding?
Well, I'm a wildlife conservation photographer. So that really, empathy and understanding really sums up the core of my values. It means that I respect my subject that I'm shooting with my camera, that I want to keep a respectable distance from whichever creature it may be. And I want to follow truth in captioning. And I just want to respect my subjects. And hopefully that comes through in my photos, and have a lot of empathy and understanding for what I'm shooting and share that with the world.
Okay, now how does wildlife conservation photography differ from, let's say, standard wildlife photography?
This is a very good question. I'm pretty strict about calling myself a conservation photographer because this is a very important movement in wildlife photography. In the past, you've probably seen photos of like an epic owl flying towards the camera. That's my pet parrot, Colonel Mustard, who have decided to scream as I said owl. So that's interesting. Birds know birds, right? And you know, lots of times in the past, you see these epic photos, and they're sometimes staged. Like you see an owl flying towards the camera, perfect everything. Lots of times, the photographer has thrown a mouse or baited the animal. Or when you see a perfect photo of like a family of animals and all of its babies on a log in the perfect light. Often in the past, those have been photographed on game farms where photographers pay money to go photograph these creatures, but then they don't follow truth in captioning. So conservation photography is getting rid of all that nonsense. In my photography, I will never bait. My captions will always be truthful. I don't generally photograph a captive species, but if I am, you better be sure it's going to say it in the captioning. And it's also just realizing if I'm in the middle of nowhere photographing something, I'm going to act as if the whole world is watching me. So I'm not going to do anything to disturb the environment or upset that animal. Sometimes it may happen. You may flush a creature. You may be photographing and the animal may be like, "What are you doing here, lady?" You know, sometimes it happens. But I sure as heck am going to go out of my way to not have that happen. I hope you enjoyed that 10-minute answer, Scott.
Yeah, wow. No, that was very powerful because I think a lot of people don't even know that there's a difference, and really that things like baiting and false caption or, you know, unclear captioning is going on. But let's get to some of these pictures here. Now, I had to we broke the system with how many of your photos that I wanted to show, so I had to load these two folders. But here we go. We're going to start off with, let's see if I did this right. Yes. Okay.
And Scott, I wanted to add one thing while you get set up. If someone wants to learn more about wildlife conservation photography, a great place to start is the North American Nature Photography Association, which I am a member of, by the way, card-carrying member. And their whole basis is, you know, following that. So if you want to read more about that, they have a great section on their website.
Fantastic. We will post a link. Now here we're looking at an iguana and a lizard.
Uh-oh. That sounds crazy. So this is a marine iguana, which is endemic to the Galapagos Islands, which are in Ecuador. And that is a lava lizard sitting on his head. Stuff like this happens in nature. It's actually a mutualistic relationship. The little lizard sits on his head because flies fly around the marine iguana and bug the marine iguana. So the lava lizard is like, I'll sit on your head, I'll eat the flies and help you out. Plus, I'll pick all the dead skin off of your head too.
Oh my gosh. So here, the iguana's taking a bath, and then we're still in the Galapagos, and we've got a flightless cormorant.
That animal's absolutely ridiculous. It can wings, again, endemic to the Galapagos Island, which is one of the most amazing places I've ever been. But that is a truly ridiculous animal, and I love it.
Now we're looking at a little monkey eating a little guy. Is this just, come on, this is the cutest thing. Is this just called a little guy?
Are you looking at the little guy with the leaf?
Yeah.
We're looking at him now? Yeah, that's a rhesus macaque, which is a monkey it's an old world monkey, and this was shot in the town of Shimla, India. And the monkeys are everywhere, except people treat these monkeys like New Yorkers treat rats. I personally think rats are cute because I'm that person. But, you know, monkeys are looked at as vermin there. So I'm shooting. pause for the parrot screaming. I'm shooting the monkeys, and people are all like, oh my God. There's a big monkey-human conflict in this area of India as well. They
Wow.
kind of, lots of packs of them run and cause problems sometimes. Monkeys are going to monk, you know?
And now we're closer to home. There's a black bear. There's some foxes. Look at these foxes. Can I just go get one of these foxes? These are super cute.
Yeah, they're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. This is in the Catskills, which is, you know, some people say it's upstate, but people that are native to here are like, this isn't upstate. You got to go further. I live in the Catskills Mountain, which has amazing flora and fauna, and so the black bears from there. We've got foxes. We've got cute little deer.
Oh, and this raccoon that's just kind of chilling.
Believe it or not, that was in my yard. I went outside and my dog started barking, and I looked up, and there is a raccoon sleeping in a tree.
Oh my gosh. And a bobcat.
So this photo is just very special to me. I started DSLR camera trapping in November of 2019, and this is just a bunch of combinations of stills, but essentially what it is, it's a remote camera that you leave, but you have to really learn about the species. And so I found this area because through wildlife